I'm Joshua, aka ENFP_hoops, and I'm joined by Amber, aka Ambi Writes. And we are
Hi
the
guys.
new Atlanta Dreamin Pod, and we are just going over in this episode which pending Atlanta Dream free agents we want to retain and who we want to let go. And this includes players that are under reserve contract or may have been a suspended contract, just who will decide to give qualifying offers to and who will just allow to explore other teams. So I think we're both in agreement on that we want the Atlanta Dream to re-sign Maya Caldwell.
Absolutely. I feel like that should be number one on their list. But I mean, I'm sure that we could be, looking for somebody a little bit more of a veteran, like a more of a veteran presence. But I feel like she fits the mold of what we're trying to do already.
I agree. And I was thinking back, like, do you think there's going to be competition to try to take Maya Caldwell from us? Like, I'm not convinced that she's going to get just a minimum contract, even though she wasn't with us the entire season. Just
Mm-mm.
what she showed, like, she had the second best 3 point percentage of anyone in WNBA history who took at least 30 attempts. Like, just her compete level, like how she plays on defense, how the offense flowed with her and Ryan at times. Like, I'm definitely not thinking she's a three-figure contract, but I could see her getting close to like what a rookie contract would be, like somewhere in the 70 to 80K range. What do you feel about that as far as there being competition for uh, trying to get Maya Caldwell to go elsewhere?
I feel like there will be a little bit at least, but I'm not completely sold on the fact that she's gonna have a ton of suitors. I feel like she'll at least probably have maybe 3 or 4 teams that might be after her because I feel like she could fit in a few different systems. But I feel like that around that rookie contract ish number would be a pretty solid number to retain her though.
Yeah, I don't see it being a multi-year contract either. Like, I think they'll only do the 1 year. And by the way, for viewers who don't know, she did get injured uh, in her Israeli league, so she wasn't able to continue her season there. But as far as what I was reading about her foot injury, it should only be a few weeks, and she should be back to game shape ahead of training camp. There shouldn't be any issues with that. Which, thank goodness, like, she played well enough to deserve a spot. It would have stunk if she was injured and wasn't able to carry on that momentum. So final answer: do you think the Dream should resign her, or do you think we should go after veterans? Because you said like potentially a first priority at the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like we should try to lock her up as soon as possible because I feel
I
like
agree.
we should probably look elsewhere first, maybe, but I do feel like she should definitely be on the list to go after.
Because I honestly think she's going to be one of the contracts that's picked up the fastest because again she's shown that she can compete at the W level, and there's a lot of cap strap teams, like just getting someone like her locked up, like knowing
Hmm.
what she brings to a team. Like, I don't know, I think she's going to be signed within the first couple of days. I don't think she's going to have to wait. We'll find out, but I
I
personally
hope.
would be disappointed, and I don't know if you're in agreement on this,
Yeah.
but um, I do not like, especially with how little we use Mom Premier, and we'll be talking about her later. But I don't see why we didn't keep her on the roster, especially with how long it took Tiffany Hayes to come to our team. She should have been with us from the get go because we were majorly struggling with guard at that times. So
Yeah, that's something that I don't know exactly what was going through the GM's head, but I feel like yeah, that should have definitely been a priority to have her
and
on.
to
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I think we're both in agreement that we like the direction that Coach Wright and Dan Padover are going, but obviously as fans we're gonna have things that we don't agree with, like also her not playing in the second half of that Liberty game when they were playing so well together. But man, just her playing at the University of Georgia, I think we would have the
Mm-hmm.
inside scoop. Like I think it would be our decision of letting her go or not the free agency. And I really hope that we don't. I think she deserved the right to go on there, even though there's going to be a lot of guard competition in our lineup. And I want to really quick just go to someone else in our guard lineup on whether you want to resign them or not. It's someone that's listed as reserved on the cap sheet. So they're not
Mm-hmm.
officially guaranteed money with us, but we acquired them with the New York Liberty, AD, who I thought played really well. But just looking at our cap sheet, we already have Christy Wallace. We have Ryan Howard. We have 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. Do you think AD fits in the future? Do we make a commitment to them, or do we try to go for more of a veteran presence if we re-sign Maya Caldwell, or do we just go with a younger guard lineup?
I feel like, I mean, I liked AD coming off the bench. I feel like they really brought like that microwave type of energy that we needed at times, but I don't know moving forward if that would be the right move to try to like lock them in for a long term deal, because I feel like what they could do, they could really find maybe a cheaper option, which would be Maya Caldwell, in my opinion. But that's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
no, I agree. I would go Maya too if I had to pick between one of the two, because you mentioned it earlier before on the broadcast. It's interesting with Christy Wallace because we have her under a rookie scale deal, even though it took so long for her to uh, be able to play with us. She was signed literally, I think, the pick after Monique Billings with us. So we've had her for a long time. It was just last year that she was finally able to play. So I don't know. I've seen enough flashes where she may be worth keeping in the lineup, or we would be able to use her as like a smaller trade piece. I don't see us just flat out cutting Christy Wallace. I think there's enough there, especially before her injury. Like I feel like there was a difference. She wasn't the same after she was out of the lineup for a bit, but like the first half of the season where she was playing, I thought she was really solid. I don't know if you're of the same opinion, but
Yeah, I love Christy Wallace. I feel like she's one of those players that, she gonna give you 100% every single time she steps on the floor. But I do feel like her consistency kind of, I mean, it kind of, mm, I want to say it bothers me, but I feel like with more reps, because she was down for a while, maybe just more reps would help her get a little bit more consistency. But I feel like keeping her would be the best option.
okay. Nope, I'm in agreement. Like I really think someone that I don't necessarily want to let go, but because of limited roster space, there's going to be a roster casualty. And right now, I am thinking it would be potentially AD. Just with we will want to
Yeah.
re-sign a veteran of some sorts. We're going to have other draft picks coming in. I think they may be the odd player out, but the good news for them is I think they showed enough in their time with Atlanta before they got injured to be signed by another team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be like a training camp contract. I think someone gives them a shot. Like once the higher profile free agent dust settles, I think they'll be given another opportunity. But I'm not sure that's going to be in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm not quite so sure, but I feel like AD definitely will have some suitors. Definitely, probably at least half the league. So
Okay,
hopefully they
I would
land in a
agree.
great spot. Yeah.
So who do you want to go through next? Is there anybody else that you would resign out of our current free agent group?
that I would resign
Yeah.
out of the current free agents. Well, I mean, I have. hmm, I remember earlier because, like, when we actually spoke, when we were on that Spaces, when we did the preview for Atlanta versus the Sparks, I did mention that I did like Erica Wheeler in Atlanta. Those thoughts have changed, but
Okay. So what changed it
as
for you, if you don't mind me asking?
I just feel like Easy would be a better fit somewhere else. I just feel like she would be just a better fit somewhere else, mainly in LA, because I feel like you know how I feel about the Sparks as well. I am an Atlanta Dream fan,
Yes.
but I also am a Los Angeles fan, and she plays so well in LA, paired up with NECA. But I mean, I feel like as a last resort, if it comes to that, I feel like I mean I wouldn't mind her being signed back to Atlanta, but I just I don't know about that one. But looking at the list, I mean, let's see who else is there because I know Mom Premiere is there.
Yeah. Going back to Erica Wheeler,
That'll be a
like
nice body to
I
have.
agree that I'm ready to move on just with like I believe we were last in the league in assists per game by like a decent amount. Let me pull that
hmm
up really quick. Because I just remembered
I
like there were
believe that we
times
were though.
where yeah, we were at the bottom. So yeah, I'm just ready for a new direction. I thought she had a better ending to the season with us, like because unfortunately, like she was just flat out cold for like the first half of the season, where she just went on long cold spurts where the shots went fall. Like she had like that awesome buzzer beater that brought it to overtime. I believe she was the one that hit the buzzer beater against the New York Liberty that brought to overtime. That
hmm
was a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, it just came in spurts. It just wasn't consistent enough to, yeah, I'm just ready
hmm
to move in another direction. And we'll talk next time when we have an episode. We'll go over potential suitors. But all I'll say for right now is I'm ready to move on from Erica Wheeler as well.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
yeah. It started off so well. Well, it could have started off a lot better, but it just didn't fit the way that I felt that it should.
And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of scorers. Like I'm looking for someone that's going to be like a pass first option.
The
So
facilitator. hmm
yeah, like just a full on facilitator instead of someone like her that like can take over games. Like she was depended on more in her tenure with the Sparks. She was one of the people that sparked offense for them. So um,
hmm
it's not really what we're looking for in Atlanta. We have enough scorers, and I think there's going to be more coming in whatever way it comes. It's going to be a team that I feel like is going to have scorers at the 2 and 3 position. So we'll see. How do you feel about Monique Billings? Do you see her
Uh,
coming, us re-signing her, or do you see us letting her go?
I want to put it like this. I feel like she's a solid option to bring back, but only as a backup because I feel like she's kind of plateaued as far as what she's going to be able to do. I don't think she's going to develop a offensive game that I once thought she might. Um, I mean, I see spurts like she has some, I know she works on it. I'll put it like that. I know she works on it, but
Oh no,
it just
high energy
hasn't.
player. Yeah,
Yeah, she's a great player, energy wise, and she does all the dirty things, like the dirty work. She gets on the offensive glass. She plays defense. Um, I I just don't see like offensively how how she would fit, but like defensively, definitely a lot.
definitely.
But
Yeah, no, and like
I was just
if you
hoping.
look at her,
Yeah,
Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just wish that offensively it would pull together a little bit better because sometimes when she goes up for offensive like putbacks, they don't
Hmm.
stick as well, and it's like, ugh, like just
Yeah,
I
the
need her to have
opportunities
just
are
a little
there.
bit more touch. The opportunities are definitely there,
And then there's that
but
one
yeah,
game a season where she gets 20 to 30 points out of nowhere, and it's like, where is this?
exactly. Because
So,
I remember like
but yeah,
the bubble season when she had that 30 and 10 game, and I
wasn't
was
that the
like, this
season
is the
debut,
moment that
the
I've been
first
waiting
game?
for. Yeah,
I
it
think that was the
was.
first
It
game of the
was.
season too against the Liberty. Yeah. So, yep.
And she played phenomenally, and it's like I want
And
more
it
of that.
never got close to that
It
level
never
again.
gels over.
And if you look at her, like if you go to any WNBA stat page and look at her per 40-minute stats, like across the board rebounding, she was in the top
Hmm.
3 in every category. And like you said, she contributes a lot defensively, so she's going to be a great pickup for whoever gets
Hmm.
her. But I'm thinking that we're going to have someone like, I've wanted someone new at center. I think Nas is going to be coming
Hmm.
off the bench for us, and like what she provides, like she was starting to try to develop like an outside jump shot, like expand her game. I don't think that was going to happen for Monique.
Exactly.
I think Nas plays hard on both floors. Like it still hasn't developed to the same as Monique, but there's enough there that I think we can move
Hmm.
on and be okay with that. She's going to be a pest to play against, but I think I'm at the point where
Oof.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I feel like if she had gotten that offensive game together, then we would be talking about her starting consistently. But I just don't feel like she fits the mold because like we have Cheyenne Parker, who's locked in for
Yep.
at least what, one more season,
One more
and
season,
then we have
unfortunately.
we're not gonna think about
We
2024
won't
yet,
think about that. Yeah.
but yeah, we won't think about that yet. But just having that type of energy is so good to have. It's so good to have. But I just feel
It is.
like what you said, like Nas is starting to fit that mold of what Monique can do already. And she's younger and cheaper, and she's more moldable. She's more
Exactly.
malleable. So I don't see where that would be, because she's probably gonna be too expensive for us
I
for
thought we
what we're trying to
paid
do.
a little more than I was expecting last season, but was more okay
Yeah.
because we were a rebuilding team. But this year, we're trying to build foundational pieces, and I just don't see her being a part of the long term future. And I felt like she felt like that too. I wasn't like last
Mhm.
season, if you remember, she was with like Bally Sports helping with Hawk games, and now she's
Mhm.
with Pac-12 Network, and I think she's signing with your Sparks personally. I really think she's gonna want to sign with LA where she
You know
played with
what?
UCLA. I could see a fit.
I feel like that would be a way better fit. And plus, like, if NECA signs back, her and Chanae sign back, that would be probably the best place for her, honestly. Because, like, one, she would be at home. And two, like, what better tutelage to have than both of them? Because that's who she really should be modeling her game after, because she has the same build as them. You
Yeah.
know, the
No, that would be
footwork.
like a lethal front court trio too.
Ooh,
Like having to keep up with both of them, and
oh
then Monique
gosh,
comes
yeah.
off the bench. That would be interesting. So yeah.
That
So
was
I'll
that would be
definitely
so
miss her
scary.
when she
But
leaves.
yeah.
But yeah. Now,
Oh yeah,
someone that I
definitely.
think we should resign that I don't think you're going to agree with. I personally want to
Hmm.
give Mia Coffee another chance. She was injured
You know
for
what?
a chunk of the season. Okay, hold on. Let me hear your thought.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no. So I just felt like she was improving her game, and then like especially on the glass, like she hadn't been much of a factor, like with the Sparks and throughout her WNBA career. But I thought it was clicking her playing at the four. It was just her
Mm-hmm.
three-pointer game wasn't there like past seasons, and then the one game she was able to come back after being injured, she was on fire again. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what we were missing from her, and then she got hurt again, and we didn't
Mm-hmm.
hear from her the rest of the season. But I just think there was enough there. Obviously, not to start, but um, potentially playing some minutes at the three and some spot minutes at the four, like playing like 15 to 20 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
depending on if we sign someone else, that there might be something there to give her a chance.
You know what? I actually kind of agree with what you said, but here's what I'll say.
Okay.
So when she was in LA that one season, I will say I feel like it started to click for her, and I kind of hate that it was like I think she was more of a casualty because of the money. I don't think they could get it
Okay.
together, but like she actually was very solid for LA. And I was hoping it would translate to Atlanta because she has been here before. It didn't work
Mm-hmm.
out that well the first time, but I feel like if she's able to like stay healthy, takes more of a team friendly contract, and they let her rock and let her do her thing, I feel like with the right point guard, the right system, I feel like she could do pretty well for Atlanta.
I agree. Yeah, and it's hard. Like her career, like she has not been with the team for two consecutive seasons. She was with
Mm-mm.
San Antonio, then Las Vegas, and I guess that was technically the same team, but it was still different cities. And then
Technically.
Atlanta, Phoenix,
Hmm.
and then the Sparks, and then the Dream again. So it'd be nice her getting some stability, and I think she, like you said, would come at a decent price because she did have injury issues, unfortunately, last season. So I think there might be
Yeah.
something there. Is there anybody else that you would resign personally out of our free agent group? I know you
Out of
mentioned Mom
what's
Premier.
left, I mean, Mon Premier would be nice to have like as an extra body. I'm not too um I'm not too attached to her as a player, unfortunately. But there's not much more that I would like many more players that I would sign back from what we already have.
Okay.
I'm gonna just keep it real.
Yeah,
I
and like
mean, we
Mom
have some
Premier, like
things.
I feel
Yeah,
like there may have been something there, but she was never given a real opportunity. Like, how many games did
exactly.
she even play more
Exactly.
than 5 minutes? So she wasn't even given
Like
it. Like she was
maybe
given less of
two.
a chance than the Connecticut Sun, who were title contenders. She had more of a role on that team than
Mm-hmm.
the Atlanta Dream, and sometimes we were razor thin in depth at front court, and she was just never given those opportunities. We always gave them to someone else. So I would be stunned if she was even in training camp with us. I think she's going to be
Yeah.
somewhere else. So
Yeah.
let's go on
Either
to
that or
someone that we both didn't mention for wanting to come back. Um, what are your thoughts on Tiffany Hayes? And you're already laughing, but um, why do you
Lord,
not
because
want
this is
her back in Atlanta specifically?
I don't feel like her heart is in it. That's the main thing. I don't feel like and I have a kind of in their mac this could be just, grasping at straws. I don't feel like she wants to come back to the league like as a whole.
Okay,
Like I think it's gonna be Atlanta or bust, and I feel like as far as her coming back to Atlanta, it's been time for her to go. I don't think she's like wholly committed to the franchise as is. I mean, I feel like most of it has to do with like previous seasons, like this year. I mean, she fit right in when she got here, when she actually played,
definitely.
and it was a great encore product. But
Especially
do I
that
feel
Vegas
like
game. Oh my
she?
gosh.
Yes. Oh my God, they look so good against them. But I just don't feel like long term this is gonna be the place for her. Like with her leaving after coming back from injury, or wasn't it like hold on? It was like right. I want to say it's like right after like she had like some type of injury and she went overseas. I'm
Yeah, it
trying
was
to
an
remember.
so that was like a weird situation where
Mhm.
like when she first came, so first it took a bit to get her back. Like preseason, like I expected her to like miss 7 games. So
Mhm.
remember, like there was a clip of her like in the locker room, like, "Hey, look who's back!" And then she was
Mhm.
out for quote unquote rest for a couple
Yeah,
games,
quote
and then
unquote.
after that, there's like, there's something else up, and then we found out it was an injury on top of it. And I will say, if the WNBA was more stable and if, like players were just able to stay in the states, she would have been an
Mhm.
all-star more often, and like last season would have been completely different. Um, Having Tip and Ryan in the lineup, there's no way that we aren't a top 6 seed with that combo together the whole season. Like I just feel like she's one of the players that had like some of the most wear and tear. Like she
Mhm.
was out the wobble season and then had injury issues the season after, and then last season, like if she was fully healthy, we're like talking a completely different tune right now, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate how it happened, but yeah, just how much she's able to provide when she's in. She's going to get a decent
Mhm.
contract if she comes back to the W, but I don't think it would be the
Yeah.
right decision by Atlanta. Like we need someone that's going to be dependable in our lineup, and just with the injury issues, and I
Mhm.
think just us wanting to move a different direction. Like I was honestly stunned that we did bring her back last season, but
Honestly,
yeah,
because I really felt like she was gonna walk then, but I feel
mm-hmm.
like she just attached to the city because like her name, like she's been in Atlanta for what, like 10 years, over 10 years now.
Yeah.
It would be
Last
her
season was
11th
her 10th.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, we love her, but I feel like at this point in time, it's just not the right fit, and it might be time for her to move on. But it like if we're being honest, it probably should have been like a couple of seasons ago, honestly.
Yeah, like
And I hate to
after
say it.
the wobble season, like when she sat out and everything, I thought for sure she was going somewhere else. And yeah, we just keep bringing her back into the fold. And like you said, nothing like that I have against her. Like the overseas thing, it was really
I mean, it
disappointing in the moment,
happens.
but at the same time, uh, like even if we made the playoffs, let's be honest, there wasn't a big chance that we were going to win a game. So I can see her wanting to think about her future, but then
Hmm.
that means to me that Atlanta, like you said, is not where she's committed. What's her top priority? So
Yeah,
I see her. I think she will be back in the W, but I think she's going to go to a different team. I think she wants to be on a team that's competing for a title, and would potentially
definitely.
have some cap space. So one team that comes to mind is like maybe the Storm, like if Gabby Williams doesn't come back,
Mm,
something like that, where there's just like an area of need and someone swoops her up. So we'll see. That's going to be
yeah,
her. Yeah, her signing's going to be really interesting. But yeah,
very.
let's see. Who else do we have on the list that we haven't gone over? We went over coffee. Oh, yeah. Did we go over Erica Wheeler? I know we talked about it pre-show, but did we talk about
I
it
mean,
on here yet?
briefly.
Okay.
Yeah, we did
Oh yeah, we talked
briefly.
about the assist. Yeah. Okay. No, we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. There's no one else that's really on the fringe for me. Like, yeah, I think that's about it as far as what I bring back. So I would bring back Mia Coffee, and then we would sign Maya Caldwell, and then not qualify AD in my opinion, and they're able to hit free agency. I don't like it if there was expanded rosters. We absolutely
Yeah,
take them back, but just
that
with
would
us
be
having three
perfect.
draft picks and us wanting to
Yeah,
bring in a veteran, potentially make a trade on Alicia Gray or something like that, I just think our guard room is too crowded to bring them on. Are you in agreement
to
on
accommodate.
who we would bring back?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in
Okay.
agreement because yeah, there's nobody else I
Okay.
can think of. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I was not expecting you to agree on the Nia Coffee thing, so that that was unexpected. I thought we were gonna have a little
I
debate, and you were right on
mean,
board. So
but honestly, though, because I really do like her as a player. I really do. Because, like, from what I saw when she was in LA, like, it was a perfect
hmm
situation. Honestly, it was. And I was really shocked and surprised to see her go back to Atlanta. And then she had all the injuries.
yeah,
So,
no,
I mean,
and she was the
it just
biggest
didn't come
free
to
agent
fruition.
signing. Like that wasn't with
Hmm.
Atlanta originally. Like she came on board pretty
Yeah.
quick. Like it was earlier on in free agency. So like
Hmm.
yeah, I want to give her a chance because I like the film I saw preseason as preseason as well. When I was looking, I was like, there's something here. Like
It
I
is. It
feel like
definitely
she
is.
did it.
I just
So
don't think she found the right, type of situation until she went to LA. Cause like before LA, she really
mhm,
wasn't, a big contributor on any team that she's been on. But then when she got there and she started to fit into the system and like she was scoring double digits in almost every game, and plus with NECA being out, it was
mhm.
she got a lot of playing time. She got to start, and she looked really great. And then when NECA came back into the fold, she was still producing. So I feel like
Exactly.
she could do that in Atlanta
Yeah.
if
No, and
she's
like you
given
said, it
the
was
right opportunity.
dramatic the opportunity like LA gave her. Like before, she had not had a season where she averaged above 15.3 minutes. She was given 25 uh, with LA, and obviously the point production and rebounding and everything came along with it. And she really took advantage of that opportunity, and that's what led to her
Hmm.
uh, getting a contract like she did in Atlanta. So
Hmm.
I
And she
don't
shot the
think
ball so well.
she really did. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's someone I would potentially want to give another chance to. If we don't, I still feel like someone else will. I think
Hmm.
that LA season was enough to show people that she has something to contribute to the W. So we'll see. And really
Hmm.
quick, before we go off, I was going to save this for free agency, but I just want to talk about it briefly. Are any of
Okay.
our draft picks for sale? Do you think because the trade we're
Mm,
officially able to trade our picks for up to the next 3 years, starting tomorrow on January
yeah.
1st, according to Richard Cohen. Uh, do we trade any of our three picks for this season? We have the number three pick, the number eighth pick, and the number 18th pick.
I feel like the number 8 pick could possibly, because I would not under no circumstances trade that. Well, I'm not gonna say that because I was gonna say the third, maybe not, but I feel like either one of those could be potentially packaged into getting something that we actually need. And I feel like that need
I
would be a Leah Boston, but that is way like I don't know if we'll be able to swing it with both of those picks.
yeah,
Unfortunately,
and I personally I don't know for Cheyenne's last season. I want to potentially try to keep her in the fold and get someone else of high caliber along with her and someone that's experienced since we're a little younger in the
hmm,
guard room as of right now. So I don't
I
know.
feel that.
We'll be talking our free agents, so I'm gonna hold off on that. But to me, if Diamond Miller gets taken by the Lynx at 2, I would be down for
Mm,
trading that third overall pick. I think
yeah.
like players like Jordan Horston, Rakia Jackson,
Yes.
Haley
Yes.
Jones are all good, but they're not fitting what I would want right off the bat with Ryan Howard. Like
Hmm.
I feel like I would want someone experienced, especially if we re-sign Maya Caldwell, like we're talking about. We're gonna want someone stable,
Hmm.
like we thought Tiffany Hayes was going to be for us. Like I want someone that has
Yeah.
like at least a few year background in consistently putting up points and producing in multiple ways. So that's my personal opinion. So if Diamond Miller's
Yeah.
not there, who I think is an exceptional talent that's been incredible at Maryland, if she's not there, I'm willing to
Hmm.
trade that third overall pick to potentially get someone like Alicia Gray out of Dallas. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. That actually is a pretty good proposal. Hmm.
So
I actually kind of like that. Yeah.
okay, but yeah. We'll see. Anything else you want to talk about before we head off for this episode? We got a good 35 minutes chatting for our first
Oh yeah,
discussion, so
that's good.
that's pretty good.
Well, nothing really. I appreciate, the invite because I love to talk hoops, you know, and I hope that we are able to, get ev- get everybody, give everybody this good chemistry.
Yeah.
But other
No,
than that,
and for people who tuned in, like we're trying to make this year long thing where like sometimes we like for the preseason we're doing it like at least like once to twice a month, or like shorts when signings occur and everything. Maybe some playbacks during the season where you can chill and watch games with us. So just trying to bring more dream content into the WNBA atmosphere and everything. And yeah, I've always liked talking with Amber and
yeah.
discussing our takes. And I know I have a feeling for free agency in a couple weeks, we're not going to have the same opinions on what direction we're going. So,
Oh, listen,
but we'll
it's
see.
gonna be haywire. I have a
Yeah, and then
feeling that it's
especially
going to
when signings
be
happen. Yeah.
nuts.
And like
Oh
you talked
yeah.
about really quick,
It,
just a little preview, like
mhm,
I just feel like it could either be like the past couple seasons where there's like a couple players that make different changes on teams, or it could be something that like unheard of, like for free agency, and a lot of dominoes fall at the same time, like Vandersloot signing somewhere else, NECA signing somewhere else, Candace signing somewhere
mhm.
else, like just absolute turmoil. So that's honestly what I'm rooting for, but we'll see what
Yes.
happens. And that's coming up now. That's been pushed to later in the month, so it's not going to be January 15th
Hmm.
when teams can talk to players. When was that date again? It was January
I
21st
believe it's the
is when,
21st. Yeah.
yeah, so but just wanted to give you all a little preview. Feel free to shoot your thoughts at us if we feel like we messed up on one of the players we think should be brought back, or if someone you think should be brought
Yeah.
back
Let
that
us
we said
know.
we're ready to move on from. Well, we're curious to hear feedback. But yeah, nice chatting with you, Amber, and we'll talk to each other again in a couple weeks to go over
Always.
uh, who we want to take on. But happy New Year to
Oh
everyone,
yeah.
and thanks for tuning in.
Happy New Year. All right.
Bye.
Bye.